What is up, guys? Papoy here, bringing you another Adobe After Effects tutorial, and in this one I'm gonna go a bit more in depth of Element 3D and how I use it to make it look as good as possible. Now it's quite early in the morning here in Sweden, so I have to go to school soon, so I have to make it really quick. But as you can see here, I've already tracked my footage, and what you want to do first is you want to select a point by right-clicking and create text and camera. Then you want to size up the text to get a better look of how it's tracked, like so maybe. And you can see it's tracked pretty nicely. And then you can just select your text tool and type in whatever you want. So I'm just gonna type in Papoy, nice and simple. And then you can close that down. And then you want to go to your cinematic layer, click on it, select it, and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Then you can go to the duplicated layer and hit enter to type in BG or background. And then what you want to do is hit Ctrl Y to make a new solid and call it element or whatever you want to call it, and then go to your effects and presets tab, type in element, drag that on, go to your custom layers, custom text and maps, path layer 1, and select your text layer. Then go to custom texture maps, layer 1, and select the BG layer. Then you can close that down and then go to your scene setup, click extrude to get your text. And what I usually do, or what I started doing a while back, is I go to my extrusion model and go to path expand and bring that up a bit, like maybe 250, to make it look a bit more nice. And then what you can do is you can go to your presets, and I'm gonna use a Pro Shaders material. I'm gonna use the brushed metal one. It's what I typically use, and then you get a nice metal material on it. And then I usually go to my environment, drop down this, go to our custom layer 1, select that, click OK, and now you can see if I turn on the environment that it reacts to the environment. Now at some cases that environment might not look as good, so then you maybe want to use like a different map or a different setting or stuff. What I usually do is I bump up the saturation a bit, like so, maybe like 60, depending on map, and sometimes I actually go like -20 or -20, but then it has to be like a really colorful map, because otherwise it looks really gray. That's not what I want. And then I can bump up the contrast a bit, like maybe say 2, and bump up the gamma to like, I don't know, 3 maybe. Yeah, 3 looks pretty good. And if you want to change up this setting, the reflection or stuff, you can go to the UV repeat and UV offset to like change the position of the background or whatever to make it look the way you want it. So I'm gonna go with something like this, and a UV repeat basically stretches it out to make it all nice and stuff. Go like this maybe. That looks pretty good. Maybe a bit more to the top like that. Maybe a bit to the side like so. That looks really nice. And then hit OK, and then you can hide your text layer, and now you can see it's tracked to the scene. Okay, not really. Somehow. Go to your group 1. Sometimes the track is messed up. And then go to your cinematic, go to your camera tracker, select a point, hit right click, go create a null, go to that null, press P to get up the position, copy the Z-axis numbers, go to your element, go to your position C, hit Ctrl V, and then it should be tracked. And now go down to your particle look, size it up a bit, change to the side. There we go. Now it's properly tracked. Now you can rotate it a bit to make it look a bit better, like maybe so. Rotate it down a bit, maybe switch up the position a bit, like that. And then maybe scale it up a bit, like so. And bam! You got a nice track. Now what I typically do is I also add like some optical flares, some particles, but since I gotta go soon I don't really have time for it, but I'm gonna make a separate tutorial for both optical flares and my particle settings, but that's gonna be some time in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you don't think that this was proper enough, I can always do another tutorial explaining even more, like showing you some different bevels, how you can change those up with different maps and stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.